Hit go live.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go now.
Okay.
And you changed the audio setting that you had to, right? To make sure there wasn't duplicated audio?
I believe so, but hopefully someone out there can tell us for sure.
So, if anybody is out there.
Yeah, but anyways, if you guys want to start the introductions.
Hi, we're live now. Okay, well, hey everyone, we are LDG. I'm Brooks.
And I'm Lizzie.
We are lucky enough to be joined by Jon Manker again from Ion Games. How are you?
I'm here.
You're patient. That's one thing you are.
Yes, we've had a few issues.
No problem. I have the Norse patience.
That's good.
And we are going to be doing a 2-player game, Liz versus Yoon of Stationfall. We are here for commentary track because that's what we do best. And
to help guide me when I am making something stupid.
Yeah, we're very excited about this. This is on Kickstarter right now. It's doing really well so far.
Yes.
Beautiful game. If Liz can jump over to TTS then, if you want to get started explaining a little bit about it.
I can definitely do so. And it's on Kickstarter, and it's today. Today it was the hottest game in the hotness list. So that's also awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, oh my goodness.
Very
that's
Yeah, it seems amazing.
Anyway, so here's the game we're looking at in TTS, and I will make a quick teach of it. And I don't have the TTS here, so I'm just teach, and you will point to stuff, and we'll hope that works out. Excellent.
Yes, and just a warning to everybody, this is my first time using Tabletop Simulator in a while. So good luck to this.
Well, let's start by just zooming in a little bit. That way he can pick a section to start on. So either the character or the map.
So for this game, there is a map in the middle, which is the station. And then you have a bunch of characters to the right. And in this setup, there are 12 characters on this station. And if you just tilt upwards a little bit, you will see the rest of them in the other direction.
So I need to move up.
There you go. And there you have the other characters. So there are 27 of them, and you randomize, or you use the suggested 12 beginner ones, which we do now. But up there you see the rest of them.
Okay.
And each of these characters,
they all come with their own little package of special stuff, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the boxes there. The boxes are not part of the game. It's just boxes used in this TTS to have the scripting thing work. But there is a bunch of things for each character that it comes with, and that is brought onto the map when the characters are randomized. Then you take the stuff they have and put it on their respective places on the map. You take the character cards and put them on the side like that. And then you have secret identity cards. So each of those 12 on the side here have a secret identity, which is randomized and dealt to each player, 3 of them now. We're playing a 2-player game here. So if you're playing 4 or more, you get 2 characters. But if you play 2 or 3 players, then you get 3 characters. Anyway, so we got 3 characters each. I'm player orange, and you're player teal.
Yes.
And then you're supposed to pick 2 of these characters, because when you play a 2-player game, you play as if it was 4 players, but you're controlling 2 of them. So you would be playing, I guess you would be playing, let's say, and you're teal. So you need to pick a color for your second character.
And Liz, if you want to zoom into the characters just a little bit on the right side of to the right of the map, so we can get a little closer look at that.
when we were looking at it earlier, we really loved, again, that there was a lot of diversity in the character art.
And the art's beautiful, too. The map is just so cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the artwork's amazing on this.
So if you can zoom in a little bit more, the bottom left side is each individual's win condition, correct?
Yes, that's good to talk about the cards like that. So yes, so this is the win condition, which is a very important part. So when we have, and that's also duplicated on the secret identity cards that you have been dealt. And so now in the beginning, we're supposed to pick which two of these that we represent. And we, as I said, in two-player game, you have two characters, so you can win with either one of them. But there is also other, since we're here now, before talking about that, there are other things on this card. So if we look at the medical here, for example, we have the icon up there, and that's the same as his pawn out on the board. And then there are two abilities beneath it, which is, special perks that he has, or I would say.
Am I correct when the color coding of the abilities are linked to specific actions? So like purple
influence
is specific to influence abilities, and
broadly so. Yes, it's linked to influence and a few other things connected to it. So red, for example, is when you are offensive, and is that called offensive? And green is kind of when you have protection or being, and the yellow is a mobility. The orange is utility. I think there's another one. And the blue thing is, I think, about console. So you do digital things as being hacker up in that. For example, the stowaway over there is hacker.
I feel like that would lead to a nice shorthand once you get to know the game better.
For sure.
Yeah, and then you have also one ultimate power, so to speak, which is underneath those two to the right. That's your reveal power, and this one comes into effect if and when you choose to reveal who you are. In this case, you have two characters, so you can reveal one and not the other. And the reveal power is strong, but it's also to reveal also have the bad thing with it that you are actually telling everybody who you are, so they can stop you, because before you do so, we don't know who you are out of these 12 characters, and you can take action with all of them. So I can take actions with your characters. Until you tell me that, hey, I'm actually the medical or whatever you should.
So once someone reveals, then they're the only ones that can control that character action.
Exactly. Yes.
Gotcha.
And speaking of control, that probably leads you to influence markers, which is one of the main mechanisms, which is a very cool mechanism. Noticed.
So if you zoom in again to where you were,
we're going out into space. It's a space game, so it's fine.
You just to show this more hands-on, and if you pan a little to the right, so you see the yellow markers there, we can just use that color for now to see.
Oh, that's these?
Yeah, so you get 8, correct, when you're not revealed.
Yes, so you have 8 colors, 8 cubes, which are the ones you use to show which character you can act with. So technically, let's say we are the inspector here. You choose the inspector identity, and that's one of the cards you have in your hand, and you choose that card to be your identity at the start of the game. Then as the game starts and we start to act, then we can put these influence cubes on any character, any of the 12, and we put it at the bottom there where there's a cube at their feet, then you can do so when it's your turn. You can put any number of cubes, but only on one character, And the reason to have many cubes is that you can act with a character if you have the most cubes on it or are tied for the
So
most
it's kind of
cubes.
like an area majority type of thing.
Yes, exactly. So you can try, and if you don't want anybody else to act with this, you can start putting more cubes on it. But the standard thing is to have one cube there to mark that now I can do something with the inspector. And then during your turn, you also activate one character, and you can only activate characters that you are in majority or tied for majority of cubes on. So if this was the first turn, you would put one cube here, and then you put your A token, the activation token, on the same character, because the other 12 is not available for you yet because you don't have any influence cubes on them.
That makes sense.
And if there is already, so later in the game, after multiple people have taken their turns, if you already have the if a character already has the activation marker on it, you get one less action, correct?
That's correct. Or as we stated in the rules, you always get one action. And if you put it on a character that does not have a disc on it at the start of your turn, then you get a bonus action.
So that counts for your own token too. So that makes it so that you don't spam a character's power over and over.
You have to diversify.
You would have to diversify into different characters.
And so if let's say it's turn 2 now, then if you say I want to act with the inspector again, well then the inspector actually has an activation disc on it when your turn starts. Your disc, but that's enough. That makes it so that the bonus action is not counted, and you only get one action, not two. But sometimes that's something you want. You maybe want to do that. It's not uncommon that you take the same character 2 turns in a row.
Makes sense.
At least it incentivizes you by getting a bonus action if it's a character that hasn't been active. It doesn't have an activation token on it.
Yeah,
which is cool because it does make you kind of diversify which character you use.
Yeah, and that's and it's good to diversify. So it's it also helps you to play the game better, so to speak. But it's a very good mechanic that works.
And then once your character is revealed, you drop down to the number of cubes on your sheet, correct? So you no longer have 8. For instance, if you zoom in on the inspector, I believe there's a little cube on the top left by the icon.
Oh, that's a cube there, but that's you have all 8 cubes at all times. This is just your cube limit for points. So the inspector, you can put all 8 cubes out before or after you have revealed, but at scoring, you get if you have more than 4 cubes out on the board when you score for the game, you get -1 point for each cube.
Gotcha. So you can do it and just lose points. Gotcha.
And you would lose points if you're unrevealed as well. That has nothing to do with if you're being revealed or not.
I like the example they used when they had the billionaire out, and he has a very low cap for his cubes, and they say it's because he's not very likable. So he's not a very influential person, which is why he's so little.
I actually don't know if the billionaire will be a man or a woman in this game. But anyways, I think they talked about her as a she, but I might be.
I like that.
Station chief.
We love the random diversity of all of it. Like, we love the art you have for the captain. It's just amazing.
The captain is up there just over the inspector as we just watched, if you want to zoom in on. Or you can just hover over it and press Alt so we can see it.
Okay, I'm not seeing captain.
Station chief.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh.
And the artist just did a fantastic job. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Great to hear. I will definitely.
The map is so cool. We love the map too.
So the artist Josephine Strand is working on the map and the interface, and the characters are done by Anne Isaksson for the most part, and also some of them by Madeleine Fjell, who made the art for Pax Viking. And then we have a person called Daniel Maurin, who is doing the 3D the 3D things for the 3D minis. So he's taking Madeleine's and Anne's art and make them into 3D models. But anyway,
That is
yes,
cool.
we're doing this. And also, Matt is very pleased, as far as I've heard so far, with how this is progressing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it has been. I've been watching it.
And
In the chat,
we actually got a comment in the chat that said from MK, she thinks the box art is beautiful.
Oh,
we
excellent.
Yes.
Plus,
box art,
the chimp is one of our favorite characters,
Yes.
so we think it's cool that he's on the box.
Yeah, there they have it. The Astro Chimp is in the 12 characters that is in the beginner setup we are using now. And there's the Astro Chimp. He's. I mean, people are afraid of the Astro Chimp, but he's really a nice little monkey. He only likes, so his little the win conditions, you should have a name for them, like kind of tells you the idea behind it. This
he just wants shiny things.
He wants shiny things. It's simple, and he wants to survive. So if you stay there, if we look at this win condition now, so this monkey, he gets 3 points, star for points, if he go back to Earth equals escapes. And we didn't even say that in the beginning. So you are on this station, and it's gonna blow. It's falling back to Earth. You just got the note. All right, sorry, we're doomed. And a number of minutes, 12, 13 minutes from now, depending on the player count, each turn is a minute. We will burn. So try to get off the station or do whatever you want. And these win conditions tells you what this identity wants to do. So the Astro Chimp wants to survive, and then you see there is indented and says plus afterwards. So all these down here are only in effect if you survive. So if you don't survive with the Astro Chimp, you get 0 points.
No.
But you can get.
Do you survive, and you were lucky enough to scrounge all of that stuff in the process, you get a lot of extra.
Yeah.
Then you get like 6-9 points, and then you also get points for other things. So you can get points for having bribe tokens at the end, and you get points from your bonus character, the one you chose not to be, and so forth. So there are other points as well, but this is the bulk of your points usually. And it's not always that you need many points to win. Actually, some could be that everybody failed their goals, and then
you just happen to get
winner.
one of yours successful.
Yeah,
and it's a low point game, right? You really don't score super high points in this.
No, I would say a winning score could be from 5, 6 up to maybe 10, 12. It's rare to see more than 12.
So that tells you right there how important it is not to maybe overextend your influence.
Yeah.
Because -2 points could lose the game for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for sure, it's pretty heavy on your. But if you put more cubes out than you have, you should know that if you put cubes on your own character, I mean, you can put cubes before you have revealed. To act with your own character, you have to put cubes on it. When you reveal, you get those cubes back.
Oh, that's nice.
Because they are part of, I mean, you are someone and the others are part of your conspiracy. So they are, so to speak, acting for you, but you don't need to have the influence cubes on yourself when you reveal. However, if someone else put cubes on you and you reveal, then their cubes go to the betrayal box because they were not part of their own conspiracy. Obviously, you were not part of their conspiracy. Same thing, if you put cubes on a character and someone else reveals as it, those cubes go to the betrayal box, which is up by the turn counter to the far there, exactly there. So it's a little risky to. I mean, if you think that someone else, you know that I think this person is this and this character. To put many cubes on that character is also a risk because if they reveal and that's actually them, those cubes go to betrayal, and then it's hard to get them back or almost impossible. But anyways, yeah. So then you have fewer cubes to use before you hit your point max, so to speak.
Gotcha.
or the point penalty, the cube max for penalty. I don't know if that made sense, but we're jumping back and forth through the issues here. But anyways, so you choose your character, you do actions with it, and we will start off by doing actions just to make that clear how that works in a fairly simple way, I think, just to move around, and then we can start to do actions and try to do things in the game and see where we land. So now you know the characters. You have the 3 characters down here, and you're supposed to choose 2 of them, and then we need to have 2 colors for each player. So I think maybe if you are, and we're going to take alternating turns. So maybe I should be orange and brown, maybe. And we should have the ones down here, really. So
maybe I could be pink and white, and you could be teal and orange, and I just need to change my color.
Yeah, exactly. So if you change to white.
Okay. Did that just...
And then let's see. So those ones
I need to grab my cards. I want my cards back, though.
You're doing well, Liz. Even though you're not a TTS maven, you're doing well.
This is my maiden voyage.
Even you haven't played yet for a very long time.
I've played it. I didn't like the game that I played, and then I played it on the actual physical table, and I loved it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not one for... I like touching games, though. I'm very physical.
Yeah.
So...
Yes, but you're doing great. So when you choose a character, you can look at the win conditions and see which one you fancy the most. When you don't know the game much, I just say that don't bother too much about it. You will learn this game by playing it a few times, and if you don't understand the win conditions, you can just do which character you feel is the coolest. And now I will obviously see what your characters are. I suppose I'm normally not supposed to do that, but we're playing just to show here, so it doesn't matter. And if you alt on your characters, we can. I mean, you might want to choose yourself, but I could also know on the identity.
Well, I want to play this one. Just because it's cute, okay? No other reason. I just want to play it.
And you want shiny things.
And I love shiny things.
And I just want to jump in here really quick to say that MK in the chat said she would love to play the stowaway because she's always dreamed of being a stowaway, which I kind of get that. That would be fun.
I kind of get that too.
And
what
character the rest of us would want to play. I know I'd probably want to be the station chief just because I think that would be...
I love that artwork.
I want to be able to get through all the locked doors.
So this is the one that Mama... What? MK wants to be.
But once you have... I mean, we could just give you certain characters. Normally, you have these 3 that were randomly dealt to you. So you would have the Astro Chimp and what's the other ones?
Well, I really want to play that one. And then I think this one would be cool to detonate something. That'd be kind of cool. So I feel like I could play the chimp and the engineer. And then have the counselor. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to be very good at counseling, so...
So, then you can put the counselor... turn the counselor 180 degrees. So you see so it's upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Not flip, but
how do I do that?
R. So, I believe it's R. Hover over it and hit R.
R or Q.
Yeah, R or Q until it gets completely turned upside down.
Oh, and then just press and hold.
Yeah, you could also scroll with the mouse.
Oh, okay. Well, how do I get it back?
Q.
Q is how I was rotating it to begin with.
Then R. R is the opposite.
R's not doing anything for me. Oh, what did I just do? I just hit W.
Probably press W.
Okay, I could... Are you guys okay with it being slightly angled? I mean,
Yeah, if you are, but it's gonna cover stuff, so it might be better to. Well,
Yeah, just rotate it all the way around again with Q and stop it.
I mean,
yes.
it's already.
Oh, you got it.
Yes. You see that?
tabletop thing. And I will choose a character for me, and I will choose maybe.
Oh, so do we put them up by the color?
No, you keep them on your hand.
Okay.
I mean, we now because we know it, but otherwise, normally you keep this secret on your hand
maybe
until
you'll
you reveal it.
forget what I chose. It's a possibility.
Passionate about the choice at all.
You haven't said chimp 20 times.
I know, right?
No.
I mean, just forget about that.
No, I will remember that you chose the counselor. No, that's
Right.
perfect.
Yes, that's the one that I chose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like your thinking.
And now, so when we play a two-player game, as mentioned before, we chose two characters. Normally, you just choose one, but we're technically playing two players each. So we have two separate secret identities, and we choose which color belongs to each secret identity. So to make that simple, I guess for you it would be, I don't know what you feel is the simplest. If you want Astershim to be the pink, and you don't put, you can put it out, but normally you have it in your hand.
Hey Liz, can you zoom in just a little bit when you get a second so we can see a little more detail?
Okay,
there you go. I'm just used. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, you guys.
Whoa. Yeah, a little goes a long way.
Okay, this is good. I'm good with this. We don't need to see the rounds at the top. But they'll click. Okay, I'm good. I don't have to move anymore, do I?
And then we have, it's great to use Alt in this game actually, but you are probably later on going to want to be closer to the map when you do things on it and move around, hovering over it. But let's cross that bridge when we reach it. And usually there's we use something called a player color minute marker when you do the two-player game. I don't see it now, but it's not super necessary. We just need to. It's just a way to remember whose turn it is, but we can figure that out, I think. So, and let's say that I will start as player orange, just to make me start. And I am then going to put cubes out and to put my activation somewhere.
I see you eyeing that chimp. Why are you eyeing the chimp?
I wonder why.
I'm eyeing the chimp. All right. Anyways, so let's see. Now I have that prepared somewhere here. So what I also wanted to say that each turn there are four things that happens for each player. We are playing a bunch of minutes in this game. It's I think 13 minutes when it's a 4-player game, and then it's actually 2 5-players. So we're playing. If we look at the minute marker track, I don't think you see it now, but 3 players is 14 minutes. 4 players is 13. 2 or 5 players is 12 minutes, and then 6, 7, or 8, 9 players is. Then you just put your minute marker there to start. And also, a good thing for you to know, if you want to point something out when you do Tabletop Simulator, you can hit Tab, and then there's a little arrow pointing to something.
It drops a little temporary arrow, which is cute.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like I could come down here and hit. Or do you need to click and then hit Tab?
No, just hover over wherever you want.
Wherever your mouse is at a certain point, there will be.
That is so cool.
You can hit it like 50 times, but it's only going to keep like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, you can spend a little. But anyways, so we are playing 12 turns. It's 12 minutes until the station falls down, and for each of those minutes, we start the turn. We have 4 things to do for the characters. So I'm now orange, and I will start by choosing if I want to reveal or not. That's usually not something you do until later on in the game, but each turn you choose that first. I will not reveal. Then I choose to put cubes out, which means I can put my influence cubes on one character, and I can put any number of cubes I want on that character. And then I need to. So this is the tricky part, and we'll spend a little time on it because that's really what people usually don't get in the beginning. And I now look at my characters that I have, and I don't need to act with this character that I am. So I have a character here which is my player orange, and I haven't shown it to you, but you will see maybe.
Maybe.
And I know what that character wants to do, but I can try and complete that goal or those goals sometimes using other characters, sometimes entirely. It's possible to get many points without doing anything with your actual identity. You just use the others in your conspiracy to do these things.
So hypothetically speaking, if you want something to blow up, you can cause someone else to blow it up.
Yeah, exactly. And it might even be a smart thing to do so, because it's harder to understand for me that you are the character who wants to blow things up. I might be, tricked by you using other characters to do so.
So getting to know all the characters is probably a good idea.
Yes, and if it's your first game, it's a tall order to digest all these 12 characters. It's usually not a good idea. You have to play a number of games and start to experience the game to get to know it really well. And that's one of the beauties of it. You can really play many times, and since there are 27 characters and so many possibilities to things to happen, it's you're finding out new things and new combos and as you go along for many of the games.
It's nice that the icons, after a while, you could get to memorizing the iconography, so you would be able to kind of quick hand it.
Yeah.
Looking at something, seeing the planet, they want to get off of it, and like that.
Yeah, and seeing.
Okay. And then there's also items and weapons and things, right? And there's a certain amount of slots on the side of each one of the cards. That's how many items each person can hold, correct?
Yes.
That's what. Oh. Those 3.
Correct. The 3 empty dotted spots on the right side.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So this already has a tool, the troubleshooter.
Yeah, she has the tool from start. She's the troubleshooter, and she has a tool from the start.
Nice.
Really nice.
And she's a very nice troubleshooter. Usually, she's kind of one of the good guys, so to speak.
And her and a couple of the other characters, I believe the monkey or the chimp, can traverse the dotted lines on the map, correct? Which aren't accessible to normal
like
characters.
The stepping through vents, I was assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tunnel rat.
So that's what these lines are.
Not that the chimp is playing currently or anything.
No, of course not. I mean, I don't have the chimp. Do you have the chimp?
I don't.
No, but I'm just gonna actually. I don't have the chimp, but I'm just gonna subordinate. I will put a cube on the chimp.
Why are you going after the chimp?
Yes, to this would with the knowledge I have, this would be probably not a very smart move, because you might reveal as the chimp, but I don't know that at this point.
Yeah, that's a master class on playing objectively.
Yeah,
exactly. And also to show that I do actions, just to show it clearly that you really do actions with other characters than your own is probably possible.
So it's not possible for us both to be the chimp. There's only one chimp in the entire game.
Yes. This is true for every character except one, the doctor. So the Doctor actually have 2 identity cards. One is called Hyde, and the other one is called Jekyll.
Oh.
There is a possibility, if the Doctor is one of these 12 cards to the right here, that 2 players got the Doctor card and playing as it, and they have opposite, different win conditions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Different things. So you could. That's the only exception at the moment.
One little artistic detail I would like Liz to zoom in on. If you zoom to the top of the map where the escape pods are, the names that you named the escape pods are so clever and so referential. I just think that's so funny.
Like Houdini.
Houdini as one of them.
Oh, Alcatraz.
I think those are so clever.
What's Eva?
And Eva. So EVA, those are extra ways of leaving the ship, correct? There's green arrows on the sides of the map.
Yeah.
That say EVA.
So EVA is technically being out in space, spacewalking, and you can jump out. So it's just another section, just as the sections in here, but you can access it from any arrow. So you have an arrow up there, just in between those escape pods, and also note that arrow is double bi-directional.
Oh, so you could go both ways versus like over here, it's only out.
Just jump out.
I do have a question. I know that they're broken down into essentially three categories of human, robots, and data. What is the chimp? A human, I'm assuming? It's considered human? Okay.
The chimp is considered human.
Anthropomorphic.
And there are 2 others as well. Some character, like the telepathic rat, is an item.
Oh, that's cool. And
then if you just scroll to a little bit down there, next to the engineer, I think. So go to the right, and then you see the cyborg to the right, which is there. So the cyborg is a combined robot and human.
He looks
so
really
you see
cool.
an icon up there because the cyborg is obviously a combined.
That's kind of important to note because accessing those EVA sections, for instance, if it's humanoid, it has to have a helmet, correct? And things like that. So that your little chimp brain doesn't explode.
Well, I'm not playing with the chimp at all.
Of course not. That's hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm totally hypothetical.
Yeah. And if you go EVA, you go 1 step out EVA, and then you go 1 step in somewhere else. So you could quite quickly jump from one side of the station to the other if you're using space, moving out and in.
That's cool. So like here you could move out, and then since this has an in, so you can move out here and then in there.
Exactly.
Assuming if you're playing with a humanoid that you have a helmet.
Yes, or a robot, but you can do it. I mean, again, you don't need to move your own what you're playing with. Yes. You're not playing with. You have all the 12 of them, so you might want to take a robot and do that, or any human with a helmet and do that because you want to take that character as a part of your conspiracy and do things to complete your secret identity's goals.
So, you and I have a question. I know that some of the other mechanics involve like being seen doing them, because I know that there's cameras that are technically active at the beginning of the playthrough. The place can go dark if you commit some sort of a crime, like attacking another person or
blowing things
up. If you do that when the cameras are active or when it can be seen, that gives you guilt, right? Doesn't that give you guilt?
Yeah, so we're really jumping into many of the details now, and I hope we're not making it too hard to follow. But for sure, I will try to explain that. So at the beginning, we have cameras on down here, and this one can be flipped to put in off a situation. And you can do that. This is a console action. So you can change, if you go to a place where you can take the action during your turn, you do 1 or 2 actions. And if you are in a certain, you can do some standard actions, and then you can do section actions. So standard actions are a bunch of standard things: move, pick up, drop, attack, and so forth. And then section actions are only possible to do when you are in that section.
Okay, so if you're in the main frame, you can turn the cameras on or off, for instance, because that's the console area.
Yes, exactly, because there you do the console actions. So you also do console actions in the security station. And let's see now, maybe the console actions is actually the blue one. And I don't think you can do that from the mainframe. You have to do it from the security station.
I love how that makes it so that as you move around the map, your actual options for actions change too. I think that's really neat.
And that they're thematic.
Yeah, they're thematic to the room you're in.
That is.
And just to say that again, as you move around, since everybody else can use the character you're moving with, you're giving them options if they have the cube on it to do stuff where you put it. So it's you can move a character, but you can also wait for someone else to move a character to a place and then put the cube there and do something on with that character.
Okay.
Nice.
So anyway, so let's see one. Let me double check one thing here. And then the cameras will also be affected. You were saying.
That's how you flip.
Yep.
You just hit the F.
Yep.
F is flip. So, and then you have the cameras on and off tells you if you have, that's for the guild, as you were saying. And you see to the left there, if you zoom into the same place, you see the guild track. And that one's supposed to have I think this automated setup missed to put a guild token out. So we're both supposed to put our colors guild tokens there.
So both my white and my pink.
Yeah.
Yay! Success!
And everybody are innocent. And if we were to do something nasty to someone else, when the cameras are on and it can be seen, then we will move that color up to suspect on this track. If you attack a human, it says here also, many of these rules are on the board, so you can like understand from the snippets there. If you attack a human in a lit section with cameras on, so the cameras is on, and then it also has to be a area which is not dark, and some of the sections on the map are dark. So I think, let's see what you're seeing right now. Yes, so you're seeing, for example, the tanks and the locker room.
So
those are dark.
Little lights with the X through it.
The light
it's dark.
and also the fact that the section in itself is dark. Shows that it.
Yeah, and the artwork is, darker.
Yeah. So these ones are bright pink, and the other or yellow orange. So this is dark section. So if someone went in here and did attack the daredevil over here and downed the daredevil, so the daredevil is flipped and is now down, and then that wouldn't affect your guilt. But if that were to be done, if the daredevil was in the hydroponics here, and the cameras are now off, but if they were actually on, then if I did that, my guild token on player orange, right, would be up.
Yeah, don't
move
be
up to
moving mine up.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait,
yeah,
no,
so
you're
that's,
teal as well. You're teal and orange.
Yeah,
I'm white and pink. So yeah, so you go ahead and move up that teal. I'm okay with that.
Got it. So I'll put this in the logical order here. Might be a smart thing. So the same order they are in the bottom here. Not that it mattered too much. So that's kind of how that works with the cameras. And then we have the jammers also, since we're talking about it. And jammers has to do with data, and data is another special concept. It's not an item. Data is something you instead share by sending it to each other, or giving it if you're in the same room or the same section. And if the jammers are on, you can't send it to others, but if they're off, you can send things around the station. And data is manufactured somewhere, and data is it has this rhombus shape. I think we have one piece of data here, for example.
And you can actually send data off of the ship, right? So if you don't think you're going to make it off alive, but let's say one of your objectives is to get data back to Earth.
Yeah. Then you can, these are the Earth sites up here, off sites. And you can send data and choose to send it to the news, or send it to the authorities, or send it to the company that owns this station. So, and one piece of data is the evidence. Let's see, is this one the evidence? I think so. I think this one is the design for the evidence. So if you go to a place and manufacture evidence and then send it to the authorities, anybody who is up here in suspect is automatically moved up to guilty. And the only way for this this character to go back to suspect, if that character also delivers evidence to the authorities. Otherwise, you're guilty, and if you're guilty, unless your character says so, some of them can win anyways. But if you're guilty, you cannot win.
So you don't want to kill people if you can help it, unless your character says you want to be guilty.
No, well, unless no character says it wants to be guilty, I believe. But some character says, I don't care if I'm guilty. I can win anyway.
Well, we don't care.
No. So I don't know if we have one here. I think the rat is one of them, but let's see if I don't think any of these ones has that. But anyways, that's about guilt and a little bit about data. But we're doing many details here, and I think I'm just gonna start acting, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
My turn. It's my turn. It's player orange turn actually, or my color orange, and I choose to put a cube on Aster Chimp, and I just want to put one cube there.
Oh, you don't want to put like a whole 100 cubes out?
First of all, I don't have 100. I only have 8. And secondly, it's I want to have some left to put on other characters to make my conspiracy and number of characters to act with more, to make it more flexible for me.
I love the idea of the chimp just having this network, this conspiracy.
Yeah, like a bunch of minions.
All these conspirators that he's pulling the strings on.
Yeah.
The chimp is smarter than us all.
Yep. Pretty much.
I've seen Planet of the Apes. I know how this works.
Know how it ends.
Right. So I started by choosing not to reveal. Then I chose to put influence on the Aster Chimp. Okay. Then, since the Aster Chimp is the only, as my third segment is to choose to act somewhere, and then my only place to act is on the Aster Chimp. So I put my orange activation disc on there. And then, since no disc was here at the start of this turn, I get 2 actions with Aster Chimp, and it has the it has tunnel rat, as you mentioned, so I can move through vents, and then it also has the loyal thing. So to influence this, return all cubes on this card and place 1 more there. So if you want to act with the Aster Chimp, you have to put 2 cubes here to do something with it, and then my cube comes back.
Gotcha.
That's a special thing for. So if I really want to, I don't know if you are Aster Chimp, but if I thought you were, I might want to put 2 there just to make it difficult for you to act with it. where at least I know that if you want to act with it, I'm not risking those 2 cubes, because if you start acting with it, I get them back.
That makes
But
sense.
anyways, so I just have the Tunnel Rat, and the Astro Chimp has some things here, but I'm not bothering about that because I'm using the Astro Chimp to complete my own goals, so to speak. So I will actually take the Astro Chimp, which is at the moment hanging out in the kitchen when this Stationfall. Yeah.
Yes.
And I will do, we have something called a compromat up here. I haven't mentioned that yet. But now that we get to the map, we can start talking about the things. There are items laying around, and one particular one is called the compromat. And compromats are, let's see now if we can drag one out without telling you anything. So let's see, there's one. So I'll put this, where are you looking right now? You're there. Okay. So where did I put that?
In the yellow forward exhaust.
Yeah, good. So this is a compromat. They are laying out 12 of them, one per character actually, and they look like this. If I flip it, I can see which character it is by looking at this icon here. If I pick one of those up, I keep it secret, but I put it on my hand, and then I have it here on my hand, secret for you, but I know it. And these compromats are compromising material that I have for this character, in this case the operative, but this is just an example. So our characters are out on the map now.
Okay.
And I can, at any point during an activation, I can play this. And as you know, I get 1 or 2 actions with the one I have put my cube on. But I can also choose to play a compromat and take 1 action with that character, even if I don't have a cube on it, because I just say to this character, hey, do you want these images to go out to the internet, or do you do this?
The idea behind it is that every character has one dirty little secret, right?
Yeah, something to hide.
Something they're trying to hide.
I have no secrets.
Right. And it's used to essentially blackmail a character, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do stuff. So, and on each turn, I get 2 actions. I also get 1 free pick up or drop, 1 of them. So now I am the Astro Chimp here. I have my 2 actions, but I will start with my free pick up and drop and take this compromat over here. I found some compromising material by about some. And I now take it to my hand. I don't know what it is, but I soon will do. You don't know what it is, and you're not going to know until I play it.
I'm trying to figure out what a chimp's compromising material is.
Yeah, do you really want to know?
Yes.
Actually.
Anyway, then you better
not chocolate he's throwing. He may be in the kitchen, but he's not throwing chocolate.
Oh.
All right. Moving on. So he can now take 2 actions. And one of the actions you can take, and the standard actions, is called step, which means you move from one section to another. And so I will do a step from kitchen to the reactor, moving through the vent here. And then I will move again into the aft hub. And that was my turn.
I have a quick question about movement. I know that the 2 rings have gravity, and all pink areas do not have gravity. Right. Does that affect only certain cards or certain characters?
It affects some things. I mean, it affects some cards have something called Zero Born. I'm not remember if any of those have it that we have here now. I don't think so. But anyways, if you have Zero Born, you can move your free pick up and drop can instead for a certain turn be a free movement
nice.
in gravity. So you get a little more ability from that. It also affects fires, for example. So fires spread if there's gravity, and if a section is on fire, it does not spread if it's 0 gravity, if the pink one.
Gotcha.
And it also affects throw, so you can throw stuff, but you can throw stuff any way you want from one section to another in the pink areas, but you can only throw counter spinward if you are in the gravity section, and that's just simulation-wise, according to math, correct thing that you can throw spinwards if you are in a spinning station.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So that's a few things, and that's the way I personally design games, and I like how Matt has done it here. I usually use reality as the inspiration, and it's not to simulate everything in reality, but if I have something in the game, I go to reality and see how can this become a mechanic, and choose a bunch of things from reality that together makes interesting mechanics in the game, rather than just coming up with invent things out of nothing. So reality is a wonderful place to find inspiration for game mechanics in the game, and it also makes more. I found it to be very good at making the game story, the unscripted narrative, to have more meat and interest to it, and something you remember much more if it's actually have links to reality somehow. That's just
for sure.
So, and I like that as well. So I did that with Astro Chimp, and now then at the end of my turn I do a cleanup, so to speak, if I have had any a resolve phase, it's called. So if that's really for time discs, if someone has time discs out, we haven't talked about that, but it's not a thing yet. And also if the monster is released, we haven't released any monster. There may be.
Oh yeah, that mini looks so awesome on your Kickstarter. Oh, I want it.
Yeah, well, if you back early, you get it. And then, or I think there's still like 200 for each of those tiers left. So anyways, and also to say that for people who wanted to do group pledges, those that limit is a number of pledge. So if you pledged for it, and then in the pledge manager afterwards add more games, if your original pledge was including a mini, all your extra things you add in the pledge manager will have minis as well.
Oh, nice.
Added for free. So it's a little tricky thing to figure out the rules there, but that's how we choose to interpret it. Anyway, so you can get that as a group pledge as well, and then everybody gets it in that group. Anyways, the Project X is a card. It's upside down now, and you're not allowed to look at it at the moment. It could be a monster. It could be other things. There are 8 different Project X. They're nasty stuff, and they usually start destroying the station if you release them. And they can be released if the Vault X, which is up there above that Project X card, is damaged. If it's a monster, it starts walking around eating people, basically. It could be gray goo, which means it starts moving around and just making gray goo of everything.
Oh, yum.
So,
sounds lovely.
Okay, so I got a question about whatchamacallit, the engineer. Where is that on here? Engineer. Okay. So that symbol detonates on that's turn 0, right? Or timer 0? Once the timer gets down to 0, that's what that's seen.
Oh, no. Well, when the timer gets to 0, so we have the timer up here. When the timer gets to 0, there's actually a little icon there showing the station. And we would, at that point, not now, but then we will flip it. And there's 1 chance out of 3 that the station holds for 1 more minute. So there's 1 chance out of 3 that we get an extra turn, and we don't know that yet.
Gotcha.
And then if it's not, then we immediately go to Stationfall, which is here. Otherwise, we take 1 more turn.
Okay.
But that symbol really only in this explanation means the station.
Okay.
So what this means is you get 3 points if the antimatter, which you find in the magnetic containment over here.
Okay.
So if the antimatter detonates on board the station, and the antimatter, which is a special item, the antimatter has the flip side, which is red, which means it's armed, and armed antimatter is a bad thing. And it's in here in a magnetic containment, and it's okay for now. But if you move it out of the magnetic containment, and then it immediately arms.
Okay, so how does it
And
detonate?
then when it arms, yeah, exactly. Why do you want to know?
She's asking for a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
And when this one arms, and this is just one of those instances where you need to know the little piece of rule that is connected to each item, and you have for every play. I mean, there are 5 of them in this mod. There's 9 put out, but there will be 5 of these concise rule books, which has an index, and there you can just check in the index for antimatter, and then you can see what the antimatter does and what you need to do. But the thing with antimatter is that if you take it out of this magnetic containment, it's armed, and when it arms, you put a time disk, which is one of your disks that has a hourglass on it, 4 turns in the future. So you put it on the time track or the minute track, 4 turns in the future.
And that's when it detonates?
And then it automatically detonates, regardless of where it is. So if someone does this, you want to keep it on the station while it's moving around here, or if someone moves it around. Someone else who don't want it to detonate can take it out into EVA, for example, and have it detonate in space.
Gotcha.
And you might want to.
So, for instance, the engineer wants it to detonate on board, so it would need to be brought from space back inside, hypothetically.
Yes. So if someone put it out here, goes out, then that you want a character to go out here and pick it up and bring it back. You could also, if you really don't want it, you can put it on a pod and eject it, and then it's a mesoswing, and you can never get it back.
Well, I mean, that's just, I was just looking at the characters, and that's the reason why it popped into my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and also there's this medical, you know, if no down people on board at detonation. I mean, obviously you want to go around healing people, clearly.
I like how the medical person doesn't really care if they make it out alive. They just want to make sure there's no downed people when it happens.
Exactly.
Just walk around and try to do that. And I mean, be really useful is the name of their win condition.
Yes.
And you should know that there is a little, I mean, the medical just want to revive people. But if you are the medical, you might want to provide downed people for the medical. So you might go around killing people.
Because then that gives you more people to revive.
To have the medical revive them. And
what a sick cycle that is.
Yeah. Can be. And then also worth noting, if this happens, if the antimatter is here, then it will detonate here. And if it detonates on the station, the game ends, because then it's Stationfall, basically. The whole thing blew up earlier.
So, hypothetically speaking, if you've already achieved your other goal and you're the engineer for your other person, you would want to detonate it as soon as possible. Especially if someone might be the medical going around healing people. You don't want them to get more points.
Exactly.
It's not like you've laid out your entire strategy or anything. Yeah.
And I mean, it could be that you could suspect that no one is engineer, or maybe you have the engineer but chose to have it as your bonus character, which is not you, but then you know no one else is it. Is the engineer, and then it might be an idea for you to blow the station up just to prevent others to get their points. So other people than the engineer might be interested in putting the antimatter into armed, and just as a way of ending the games prematurely, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So it can be used by others as well for that purpose.
So many cool options for interacting with other characters. I think that's really cool.
It's a web of possibilities, and a true sandbox and fantastic generator of small stories. Someone said it's each time you play it a new fascinating little sci-fi episode of some sci-fi TV series is played.
Exactly.
I totally see that.
Especially, I feel like you said in the beginning, if you're kind of into RPGs, you could almost role play your character while you do it. I mean,
I saw when you got off of busy reading like the character backstories that you guys had, the little like blurbs about everybody, and I was loving it.
Yeah, it's going to be a special book in it called the dossier, I think we call it.
Nice.
There will be a backstory for each character, and you will have all the special rules for each character, so that they are collected there, and then you have the special the rules for all the actions and so forth.
Gotcha. Okay, so is it Liz, your
it's
turn
my white person's turn.
So totally not pull the ship up, right?
I'm not gonna pull the ship up yet. How okay.
So wait just 1 second to make sure that we're doing it this way. You can be white if you want, but then we're going counterclockwise, I think, because then, which we can, but if you want to, we could go, if it's not bother you, might go clockwise, so you would be purple, and then to you and white.
That works for me. So it is my person's turn, which is in no way reflection on what I am. So, okay. And then this person is the inspector in the Chem lab. What does he do?
Chem lab.
What do you guys think I should do, guys?
I want to see what your first move is on your own. Really quick.
Okay, so I think I'm going to activate the inspector. So I'm going to move a cube up to the inspector. Then I'm going to click and activate him.
Yeah.
And that means I get this K thingy for free.
If you want to use your free pickup for that one, you can do it, and then you get it, and which is a very good idea to collect.
Yes, and then I can see what it is by just hitting the F.
You've got some compromising material already.
Which I have no idea what that is.
Which technically just is a free action with the character, but and it's the character on that.
Don't forget, Alt zooms it in for you if you need to see it up close.
Yeah, hit Alt.
Oh, okay. I know something. Okay. Did you guys see what I know?
We're just gonna say no. We didn't.
I have no idea.
No clue.
Okay, so how am I not able to? Can I move over? Oh, I need to move over with D. Okay. So the inspector was in the chem lab. If I could get close to one of those other informational technical thingies, I could get that one as well, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that's within 2 walking spaces of me?
Well, the inspector does not have tunnel rat to start with, so you cannot go. So you could possibly, if you want more of them, you could possibly start walking towards the nano factory, which is in that direction. Yes, I think that's if that would be your goal now, you can move 1 step biolab and then 1 step to
and then his free action, I could do it adjacently.
Adjacently? Well, what did you say?
Can pick up. Okay, but it's not free action, so next turn, if he's still there, I could pick up that if it is still there.
Yeah. That's exactly. That's their special ability, the inspector, which is not a he nor she. It's a there.
Okay.
And so that could be done in next turn without moving. Also note that you just moved past the biolab, and some of the sections have special rules, and it's this one in biolab. You can do the section action manufacture this token, which is that you know what Project X is, and if you have this token, you put it on that character, and anybody who activates the character may peek at the Project X without showing it.
Ooh, so maybe.
But it needs manufactured first, so you would need to take an action.
So if I didn't
there.
move, I could have just stayed there and then manufactured.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I do that? I
And then you can
wonder what Project X is.
Your first action was step, and then your second action this turn was the section action, manufacture the Project X. And then you take one of those tokens. It's actually in the up there, but I used one before, so yeah, you can drag one from the bag or just take that one. And then you put that on the inspector. And data is put up in the top normally. So put it there like there or so.
Okay.
And then we know that the inspector, anybody who activates the inspector may peek at this Project X.
So does that
card.
mean I can peek now, or is that an action?
You can peek now. No, it's not an action.
So many secrets that you know.
And now when you peek this one, now you show it to everyone. So if you flip it back, if you want to peek in Tabletop Simulator, you hit two different...
yeah, there is a private peek. I forget what that is.
Oh.
So I think it's Alt-Shift or something. I actually forgot it myself.
Oh,
yes.
Alt-Shift, yes. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's Alt-Shift, and then you can check it for yourself. And now I don't see in Tabletop Simulator what you see.
Nice.
I do see it on the stream, but I'm not looking.
Yeah.
We trust
But
you.
anyway, so but we're just showing the game here, so that's fine. But normally this is secret information, and you see a description of what this is.
Yes.
And it's also sometimes it's a monster or something else, which has when it's released, it's going to start do things, and you just follow the instructions on this one to show what it's doing.
Okay.
That's so cool.
That is. And now I know what it is.
Oh,
And because I was an inspector, I was investigating. That's what I was doing.
You did your inspector stuff.
Yes.
So that was your actions as player pink, and now it's my player teal, and I will as player teal. Let's see, what was player teal again?
I should
right, well,
probably
one more
flip
thing,
my
so-
characters then, shouldn't I?
probably.
So, and also one more thing which we forgot to do is that when you go in there, it says contaminate. So anybody who's in here gets contaminated.
Oh
And that's
no.
just, yeah, so now you're contaminated. So you take a contamination token from one of the bags up there and put it on the inspector. On one of the item slots. If I remember correctly, the contaminate actually takes one item slot on you.
And it can be gotten rid of by going to there's like a contamination shower or something, right?
Exactly.
Wash off your sins and your secrets.
And there are people who this contamination it takes a item slot, but it's also some character has that as part of their win condition that they want
to be contaminated.
I was the botanist is one of those, right, or something like that, I believe, because that looked interesting to me.
Yeah, and I mean the daredevil, for example, which in this game gets 2 points if she possesses the artifact or are contaminated.
Oh, that's cool.
I like how she wants to have something cool to show for it, and she wants to be the only one that survived, so she can brag.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. She wants to survive. She wants to be the only one that survives and also contaminating all of it.
And wants the Project X to be released.
Yeah.
Of course, because it should be such a dangerous station that when
yeah, you don't want to go.
You gotta have a story.
Big one.
And then the cyborg also has it in his win condition that the cyborg doesn't want anybody contaminated to escape.
Oh, so the cyborg would be direct.
The cyborg daredevil, they are direct opposite in this. I mean, I know one thing. I talked to Matt quite I think 2 years ago we were talking about other things, and he likes these games where there is no problem to solve a problem if everybody just cooperated and did what they're supposed to do. But then people don't, and it all goes south.
Haywire.
Haywire, and this is what part of we put into this game, that if everybody just walked calmly to the pods and ejected the pods, everybody would survive in 4 turns.
That's no fun.
We have other objectives. So all chaos breaks loose. Anyways, so that's an example of those. And the engineer as well really wants no contaminated characters to escape. There's 4 points for you if no contaminated characters escape.
Oh.
So if I believe the engineer is in the game, I mean, first of all, if you play this for the first time, just play around. That's my recommendation. But if you start learning the game, you can do stuff with your secret identity's goals in mind. And then if you start to learn the game even more, you can do things to prevent others' goals if you start to know who could be the engineer. So in this case, you can just to destroy this for him, you can take a character, contaminate it, or take a contaminated character and just try to get off the station fast. Not that you care about that, but just to
get them to a pod. And then you have to eject the pod for them to get safe, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the standard way of
so if you are the engineer, I would want the inspector to get to safe while he's still infected. But say, for instance, if I'm the engineer, I might want to invest in, getting that inspector uncontaminated first. Hypothetically.
Yeah. Or you might want to invest in just downing the inspector so they don't get off the station.
Yeah, until the pesky medical comes by, and maybe you're the medical and you want people to be downed. So maybe you're trying to tell me to down people because you want down people to heal.
That's another thing. And you could also walk. You can just put the inspector part of your conspiracy and walk to the tanks, and then decontaminate the inspector, and then thus ruining the plans of the engineer.
Yes.
Because in the tanks you decontaminate, and then you remove one of those from the tank.
Well, that's good to know, hypothetically speaking.
Okay, so you did your 2 actions, and now it's my turn, and I'm supposed to do something with the team, right? So I will. Let's see now. I'm going to move a cube to. Let's say I will do something. So there. So that would be. So I think I'm going to put the cube on the cyborg and activate the cyborg. And then I'm going to walk up here. And pick up this compromise. Sorry, I saw someone was walking over there.
Yeah.
So
you can't be the only one snooping through people's drawers.
But I want to be.
And then I'll take the cyborg out into the forward hub for my second action, and the pickup there was a free action, and then it's your white turn.
Okay, well, what ones are up here? We have the Astro Chimp and we have the Medical. Oh, I think this is going to be kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and, this is White's turn. I'm going to go ahead and send a cube over to Medical and activate the Medical. I'm going to send Medical over to here and then over to this room.
And wait a minute. That's a good idea, but there is a lock.
There's
there.
a lock? Oh no, how do I get a key?
You can move through this if you are an officer. And in this game, you see you can look at the station chief, who is obviously an officer, and there is this officer icon up here that tells you that they are officers. In this game, you see two more of them. The engineer and the counselor are also officers, and they're
it's that blue badge with a star on it that indicates the officer, right?
Okay, well, where is the blue badge with a star guy?
So you have the engineer, which is over here.
I mean, I guess I could use him to get close to that instead. So maybe I would just.
That acting.
That acting, though.
Well, I just want to go into that magnetic containment room. That just sounds like fun.
Of course.
Yeah, it does. Good time.
So I'll move him 1 and then 2.
Yeah.
And I'm in the reactor room now.
Now you're in the reactor room. So I just want to say in this mod, you can click on the icon. That's a scripted thing in the mod to see where this character is.
Oh, and that like zooms in on it.
And it zooms in on it.
Okay. Nice.
If you were looking for something. And then let's see now.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyways, you did that, and that was your 2 turns. You can, if you want, you still have a free pickup. So you can, if you want, pick up the nanomads that's laying around up there.
There's nanomads? Sure, I'll pick those up.
So as the compromat goes to your player, everything else goes to the character you're acting
so
with,
those will go to the engineer.
And to the engineer's item slots. And you have 3 slots that you can use, as we mentioned before. And they will be the same size. I mean, they're a little too small in this mod, but they will be
tabletop simulations.
Yes. Simulator thing. It's actually because the cards are oversized in the tabletop simulator. These ones are correct in size relative to the map, but they are, because of the cards being oversized here to make them easier to see, they are a bit too small for the cards.
Okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, so that was 4 people's turns.
Yes, so now we've lost some time.
Move the minute marker. And now we're 11 minutes from station. And it's my turn again. So I think I'm going to, let's see now. One good thing you can do in the beginning is to, as we already done, find little compromats to pick up. So I think I'm going to, for my orange here, expand my...
your influence.
To expand my conspiracies, what I was looking for. And place a cube on the station chief. And now I have the option of keeping my activation disk at the Aster Chimp and get 1 action, or put it on the station chief, which has no disks at the moment, and get 2 actions, which I choose to do.
Okay.
And the station chief is over here in the therapy garden talking to the counselor for some reason.
Oh, what are they doing?
Yeah, maybe not talking. I don't know. Therapy garden. So, anyways, and in there, there is also you have the compromat laying around, and I think I'm going to pick that up.
Okay.
Then for my second action, since she's an officer, she may step, or if she's down, she may actually be dragged through locks, and the lock is removed. So she has some kind of, the lock is electronic, and she has some device probably implanted. So you can down her and then drag her to the lock. Good
to know.
Yeah. But anyways, now she just walks past this lock into the shred room, And note that this shred room here, then that removes the lock.
Okay.
So now the shred room is open. And this shred room is this is added to the mod because of the counselor being in the game. Otherwise, it would look like this. There is no shred room.
That's cool.
So the map is a little modular depending on which characters are in the game.
Oh, and you can pick up data from anywhere.
And in this, I can pick up data from anywhere. So I go in there for my first step, and then I take the section action called data mine, and I'll pick up one of the compromats from somewhere. And then, of course, I want to pick it up from somewhere where you can get at it.
How do you know who I am?
I don't know, but you could activate any of the characters and pick up compromat.
Yeah.
So I want to pick someone up which is not easy for you to get to. So down here are a few of them. So I think I'm just going to take the storm shelter one over here. No, I'm going to take the forward airlock one.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way he would know who you are. No way. Impossible.
I know, right? I have been super coy.
Discreet with
yes.
your
I have been unbelievably discreet.
Yeah. Discreet is your middle name.
To be fair, though, we're learning the game, so non-discreet is okay, right?
I guess.
Non-discreet is actually excellent in this situation.
And you're a trooper because isn't it like 5 a.m. there where you're at?
No, it's 4 a.m.
Oh, only 4 a.m. Wow, so you've been working through your third shift.
Yeah, well, I actually took a nap. I went to bed at 9 and slept until 1 or a little before to start the server and all this. But so I hadn't had a full night's sleep, but I had a few hours.
Well, I'm so sorry. We won't keep you too much longer, but until you're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have to play a full game if you don't want to, just enough for people to get a feel of it, maybe. I feel bad now. I forgot about the time zone difference.
I just remembered the time difference, and I was like,
oh
no.
Oh my goodness.
I was prepared, but we can play a few more things, and then we can just speed run a few turns. And it seems as if you're trying to get the antimatter out, so it might be much less than 11 minutes.
Yeah, true. I mean, I could just, try to just activate it right then and there. Yeah, okay. Well, you just did your 2 actions, right? Or no, you're still looking. No, you just picked up. No, you're still looking. What?
I did my pickup.
Okay, well then I'll go ahead and it is Pink's turn now, right?
Yeah.
Which I need to expand influence, I'm going to assume. So which one of these should I do? Oh, goodness, the start.
There's no end to the possibilities.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff. I just need to... I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to send a couple of my chippy chips over to this Astro chip so that you can get your chippy chip back.
All right.
Your influence cube.
Technical.
I wonder why you're doing that, but anyways.
I have no idea, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and move the Astro chip to activate him. And since how you seem to be really interested in him, I just want to get him away from you. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move him up to here. And then there was one at the start of the turn, so that's the only thing that I could do, right? Because
no, there was no disc.
Oh,
there.
That's right. You had moved it. So, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make him go to Houdini. Why not? Just for...
But you could also, just to point out something you could do with him on the way, you have a free pickup, so you could pick up the helmet.
Oh, yes.
So he doesn't die in space.
Which would be a good idea. Where is... Oh, I just like knocks that helmet all over. Okay, let's expand out here.
So it's down here.
Yeah.
And now you have the choice of going to Houdini. You could also go to EVA if you want. I don't know if you want to, but just to point out the possibilities. Since now you have a helmet on, you survive in space.
Ah. Versus him dying if you would take him out to space. I think I'll just go ahead and take him to Houdini. No reason.
Yeah. For no reason.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to you're not allowed to do suicidal actions, basically.
Oh, so you could not send him to space if he couldn't survive in space.
No, exactly. There's except for some special cases, such as the telepathic rat can telepathically make people do suicidal things. But normally you're not allowed to act with something that kills itself.
Gotcha.
You'd be able to manipulate it too much in your favor, probably too easily, if you could do that.
Yeah, that breaks the game.
Yeah, I can understand that.
All right, so Astro Chimp is now sitting in Houdini with a helmet.
That's
for no reason. We have no idea.
And doesn't have many shiny things brought with him, but or her, I don't know, but I guess.
Yeah.
So that was your turn with your pink, and then it's my teal, and I'll go ahead.
Oh, are you allowed to move a player right after they've been moved? So could you move my chimp out of Houdini?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there is no time.
No, but there's no such goal. But I could do this, which I won't do. I could put 3 cubes here,
and then
because I need for this specific thing with Astro Chimp, because it has this specific ability here.
But why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, it's not like I would just reveal myself or anything. Send you all the way to betrayal.
No, that's probably not going to happen, right? Anyway, I will instead. I think I will instead. Let's see. Now we have one.
So just a rules question. Hypothetically speaking, if I were the Astro Champ, could I have been just revealed him last time and then I could have controlled him, or would I still have needed to place 2 of the markers over there?
No, you don't need to place the markers there, but you need to place the activation disc.
Okay.
So your reveal character is automatically part of your conspiracy. So you would have taken the reveal token and put it here around the icon to show that this is a revealed character now, and all the cubes there, which was just one my cube, would have gone to the betrayal box.
Gotcha. So that might have been a better move, so that I didn't have 2 cubes stuck out there.
Yeah, but now if you reveal at a later turn, you will get those cubes back.
Oh, so it's your cubes that go to betrayal versus my cubes come back home.
Yeah, all other players' cubes goes to the and your own cubes go back home. Yes.
Okay, purely a hypothetical. Clearly,
only for the champ,
obviously.
And I also want to point out one detail here. Not that I know anything about who you possibly could be, but there is a little token here, which is a triangle, and this is a hazard. So that's the same as space. You can't go in there unless you have a helmet.
Oh, so someone would want to get a helmet first.
Yeah, and someone might want some monkey to give them a helmet, for example.
Gotcha. So if someone would say go to Houdini and be like, "Give me your helmet."
Yeah. Or if some monkey would have thought Houdini is not a good place to go to, I think I'm going to go to the reactor after picking up the helmet. Could also have been a good idea.
Well.
Or just show possibilities here. Maybe that a monkey starts walking to the airlocks, picks up a helmet, and then use the action throw to throw this helmet to the reactor. That's another thing you can do.
Oh, well, I'll remember that for next time we play. If, that situation would occur again.
Yeah,
In a hypothetical situation. Purely.
It's, who knows? Anyways, now that's just pointing out possibilities in the game and how you can, use the web of possibilities to your advantage. So let's see. I think I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3. I would like to display that. So I'm just gonna take the Daredevil and put a cube on the Daredevil. Who am I? No, I'm player green. Right?
Yeah, teal.
So I have it cyborg. All right. So player green puts a cube on Daredevil and moves the activation disk to Daredevil. I will pick up the compromat over here in the locker room where the Daredevil is currently staying. And after doing that, I will do one action to step into the tanks and another action to step into the forward hub.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so then it is White's turn again. So my engineer's going, I should have grabbed a stinking helmet, dang it. Okay. But, so maybe I don't want to activate him. I want someone to bring me a helmet.
Yeah, and maybe you didn't want to activate him anyways, unless people were suspecting you were doing something fishy. But otherwise, activating him again would lose you your bonus action. Because there's a disk there.
So, okay, there's a helmet over here. So if I control the counselor, for instance, I could go over there and pick up a tool or something and a helmet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send a cube of influence over to this counselor. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate this counselor.
Yeah.
And put the activation.
Counselor is also an officer, actually.
Oh. So she could go through downed as well. Interesting. Or locked as well, not downed. Okay. Let's move up. Let's bring you over here for an action. Do I want the tool or the helmet? I'll pick up the helmet. I think she wants to go out to space, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Helmet's good.
Yeah. And then that was my free pickup, though, right? Or does that
scare?
So can I pick up the tool for another action, or?
Yes. Yes, and that would be an action. And not a free pickup. But that would be your 2 actions, step and pickup.
What does the tool do for me?
Well, the tool, you can use the tool to destroy or damage sections. And you can use the tool to down people if they don't have a helmet. If they have a helmet, you need a gun to down them. And then you can also use the tool to rob people.
Oh.
So instead of downing them, you can just use the tool to forcefully take an item from them.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
But that's also preventing that they don't have a helmet on it. Because if they have a helmet, you can't really damage them with the tool. But you can damage sections. And if you damage a section, what that means is that section actions cannot be done. And in some cases, other things happen, such as if you damage Vault X, Project X is released.
Ooh.
And that it says it on the Vault X.
If damaged, release Project X and trigger abandoned ship.
Yeah, and abandoned ship. So abandoned ship is a token down here, and flip if abandoned ship is triggered. And in that case, we would flip this, and it says abandoned ship, which means all locks are removed, and pods that only has that requirement can now be launched. So you can't launch the pods until abandoned ship has been declared. That for if you look at Houdini, for example, it says prepare for launch, which is an action you can do on it, and requires abandoned ship to launch. So these can't be launched until the abandoned ship is declared. There is one more pod actually in the game, a modular one, which is in the game only because I think it's because the commander, the station chief, is in the game, and it's down here, the medevac pod.
Yeah,
and that doesn't. Abandoned ship is not required to launch, but you have to have a downed human neck in this to be able to launch. So it's like an ambulance. So you need to, and that might cause you to down someone only to be able to
bring them with you
as a downed person.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's the thing about these pods. But abandoned ship is not declared at this moment. You can also declare abandoned ship by going to the bridge and declare it, so to speak, if you're an officer. And there may be a few other occasions, but that's just some. And also, just to note, I'll flip that back. Again, the concise rules is an excellent place to look for things. So in this case, you would look for abandoned ship in the concise rules, and you see on this it's 7.1 in the index. So you would go to 7.1 and look for abandoned ship there. And there you have it, 7.1. Abandoned ship can be triggered as a section action or in a number of other situations when the station is in grave danger. When triggered, flip the abandoned ship status markers to move all locks and so forth.
Okay, makes sense.
Abandoned ship will always be declared when you reach minute 1. So up here in the minute track, it also says abandoned ship automatically triggers. So if it hadn't been triggered before, it's triggered now.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're prepared to get your hypothetical monkey off of the ship.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's moved away.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
So you did something with the counselor with player white, right?
Yes.
And you're done.
Yes.
So that means the minute marker moves one step forward.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I'm player orange again, and I think I'm going to. Let's see now. I could go to. Player orange is there, so I want to actually. Do you have a council? Yes, I want to show this. Didn't we have? Oh no, maybe Stowaway was, yes, Stowaway is in the game. So I will, just to show this, put a cube on Stowaway because it's a little special.
Okay.
So the Stowaway starts off the map. The Stowaway is the cube, or the pawn for the Stowaway is on its card. So the first action the Stowaway does has to be to move from the card, its own card, to any dark section on the map.
Oh, that's not under lock and key, I'm assuming, so you couldn't like put it into the vault.
That's a question I don't know the answer to, actually. Maybe, let's see, start first into any dark section. I could check that for sure, but I don't think it's in these rules. It's in probably a character rule. I think it can. It doesn't say anything here, which means I can put it there. Although I can't move out of there if I do, and there's nothing in there to do, and I don't have a tool, so I can't damage the section. So I can't do much in Vortex.
Yeah, unless you want to send something to somewhere.
Yeah, send. Oh, you mean, yes, if I'm a hacker. So yes, I could stand in there. If jammers are off, I can perform those actions from anywhere. And then I need to make the jammers
Because if
off,
you're the stowaway,
which I
you
could.
want to end up with Project X, right?
Yes, you want to end up with a knowledge about Project X.
Oh.
I mean, if you're a stowaway, you want the knowledge of Project X to be sent to the news. So that's what it means. 2 points if the news has the Project X knowledge at the end.
Okay.
2 points if you also have evidence at the end. And 2 points if you survive, and plus 3 more points if you survive with evidence and no other character does.
Survive or
really
survive with evidence?
I think survive with evidence.
Okay, so the stowaway wants to be very knowledgeable, but doesn't want other people to be.
Yeah, the stowaway
point out that
is a journalist who wants to do a scoop and comes with this is the truth and only I know it. And yeah.
I just want to point out that MK in chat is very excited that the stowaway is getting some action because that's the character she would have picked.
Excellent. Great. So now I'm going to show what the stowaway can do here. So my first action would be to go to any room which is dark, and it could be that I go to. So let's see. If we just think about what stowaway want. No, I probably don't want that. I just activate stowaway because I want to do something else with it. So, but if I were the stowaway, I would like to find these information bits. But for now, I'm just going to put stowaway here in the forward exhaust. And as my second action, because the first one was to move into a dark section, my second action will be to move here into the print shop. And I will free pick up the rocket wings that's laying around.
So that way you could fly around?
And with the rocket wings, what I do get is this is an item really belonging to the Daredevil. It's not in the game unless the Daredevil is in the game. And this adds this item to the map, and it also adds a section action to EVA, which means I can EVA launch, which basically is I skydive to Earth using my rocket wings, which is the Daredevil thing to do.
Ooh.
So EVA launch is an action taken in EVA, and you have to have the rocket wings in order to do it.
And a helmet. That is cool.
So the Daredevil was such a thematic character.
Yeah.
So cool. You can like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that, and that means I did was that my orange action? Yes. And then it's pink.
Pink. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and come over here to the counselor. So I need to have just as much or more, right?
Yes, so 1 cube is enough.
Okay. Well, then I will go ahead and activate this one.
And note that if you do so, there's a disc already, so you only get 1 action.
Yeah. True. So do I really want to do that, or do I want to try to activate something else? Grr. How do I get a helmet? Oh, wait. I'm already on the Astro Chimp, so I need to move. Is there another helmet around here anywhere?
Yeah, well, if there is no helmet, you can go to the print shop and manufacture one.
Oh, so I could activate one of these two, either the troubleshooter or the stowaway. I wouldn't want to activate the stowaway because you're right there.
But you can activate the troubleshooter and have her make a helmet for you.
Yeah, what does she do? She also has a weapon.
She has a tool, yeah, but you could use it as a weapon.
I will.
Don't tempt.
What?
Don't tempt her.
No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move up to here. And I'm going to activate this. And I'm going to go ahead and print this.
Yeah, so you manufacture a helmet. So you take a helmet from the bags over there.
Thank you. Okay, and we place that there. And I'm just going to place it over here because my neck... Oh wait, that was a free action to pick it up, wasn't it?
No, when you manufacture it, you get it directly
Oh,
to you.
nice. Okay, well then I will just go ahead and move her over to here. I want her away from you.
If you want, you can in that room, because you still have your free pickup.
Oh, I could pick up this.
You can pick up the alien artifact.
And then I am full up. I'm picking that up because that is just cool.
Yeah, who wouldn't want an alien artifact?
I don't know. I think I saw the engineer had a desire for that. Oh, but no, it does not make it to Earth.
Yeah, but you might want someone to pick it up to make sure that it does not make it to Earth.
And then just happen to, hack them or something. Once they lose their helmet, of course.
Or just make them walk somewhere and sit in a dark room where it's far away from the pods. Holding the alien artifact and
looking deeply into its eyes if it has eyes.
Yeah. All right. So that happened, and then that was your turn, and there's no monster and no time disk to consider. So I'll just do something. What else can be good to do here? I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate the... So let's see now. Now I am player teal. So I will put a cube on inspector. I will activate the inspector. And I will walk over here to the chem lab. And what can you do in the chem lab? Well, you can manufacture a firebomb.
That's
so that's what I'm gonna do.
Why activating a bomb?
No, I didn't activate it. I just manufactured it.
Why are you wanting to activate a bomb?
Maybe I want to bring it to Earth. Who knows?
You're trying to bomb Earth now? Wow. Wow.
So that was the turn of the inspector. I mean, I might have other ideas, and also to be frank, I'm doing stuff now to display things that might go on in the game, such as activating the stowaway just to show how it works. So don't pay too much attention to if my strategy is smart or not.
Oh, we'll totally pay attention to that.
Yeah, and that was my turn, and then it's play white.
Okay. Well, white. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. I would have to put 3. Which one is this again? Yeah, I don't want to do that.
And Liz is dead set on ending the world, so if we don't put the reins on her, she's gonna run away and want to do it all night, and you're gonna be up until 8. So, you want to finish these turns out and then maybe have a conversation?
Absolutely, we can do that, and just talk through what could have happened at the coming turns a little bit.
Okay.
Fantastic.
But you guys don't want to see me ending the world? It would just be ending the station. We would make it to Earth. Okay, so I would want to do the counselor to try to get the helmet. Does the counselor have a helmet? Except I'm already on the counselor. So...
Yeah.
And I don't want to do...
But you're not... And you're not on the Astro Chimp, but you maybe want to do the Astro Chimp.
And and then I could always just put my cubes back on the Astro Chimp if that would be Pink's character.
What you could actually do, but now if you want to put white over here, you have to put 3 cubes there. And if you are revealing as the Astro Chimp, I think the Astro Chimp is player purple. I'm just guessing here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Pink. And if player pink reveals now, then these 3 cubes go to betrayal because they are not pink.
But what pink could do would be to replay the chimp, and then the next time they play, reveal as the chimp.
Yeah, or just to show how reveal works, player pink could reveal right now. Because you are... No, you're player white. You're playing. Okay, sorry. Good. I thought you were playing player pink right now.
Okay.
or the facing part of you would be player pink.
Ah.
All right, so
So
you
yes,
put
I'm going to be the
cubes there.
chimp. So I'm going to go ahead. You know what? Houdini's not much fun, so I'm just going to come down, and then I'm going to come down to this reactor, and then well, not do that. How do I? Okay.
So if you want to, you have a free pickup or drop.
So I
what you
could
can
just
do here.
drop this helmet for no reason.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's a mystery.
Right next to the engineer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Convenient.
Well, I mean,
That was-
I don't know. Just it looks cool.
And I do have to agree with MK in chat that now Rocket Man has been in my head, the song, for like the last hour.
Inspector Gadget, the theme song from that TV show, has been stuck in my head. Okay, well, that was the end of the round, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the end of the round. And then, and that would be the end of, so it would be 1 more minute moving. And I have to double check one thing here. Let's see. So, anyways, you move the minute marker, and if you want to have a conversation now, we can just talk about what could have happened the coming turn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, would you mind if afterwards, if we just cut for a second and jumped to another quick recording for about 5 or 10 minutes, just to have a quick conversation about the game and the Kickstarter itself, so we can promote that as well?
Sure. So we end this, and then I just leave things as they are, and you restart the second.
Yeah, for sure. It'll only take a second. So good stealthy play, Liz.
Right.
We had no idea to do the whole time.
No one had any idea. I mean, Jorn, you probably were just like, or Yoon, sorry. I keep combining Yoon and Bjorn for some reason.
Yeah, they're might sound a little similar, but it's quite different number of letters and stuff in it.
But yeah, you would have had no idea what I was planning.
No idea at all, actually. It was I trying to figure it out, but it's a mystery to me.
I do really like how, if we weren't playing to learn, how there would be just so many variables of what you could do.
And I feel like that's a good way to maybe get people that aren't necessarily normally like hidden identity game players like into it, because it might not feel as
like you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is awesome.
Yeah. That's I mean it's one part of it, but it's more of a tactical sandbox, almost role play like thing, or tabletop role playing, I would say. More to do with that, and also with, I mean, people have said it's related to Among Us, of course, because Among Us is a get the station thing. But this has so much more going for it, because you have all these different actions. And
yeah, for sure. And you get to interact with all the characters, not just yours.
Yeah, and
so how do you think?
Yeah,
for sure.
What were you saying?
How do you think the turns would have played out had the rest of the game worked? Like, roughly, what do you think could have happened?
Well, so we have you done this switch of recording thing that you were planning to do?
Not yet. I figured you wanted to finish talk about your play really quick.
All right, good. Then I understand. So, well, what would happen here is, I mean, your plan was to get the helmet on top of the engineer, and then walk into here with the engineer, and would be a free pickup, and then walk out immediately, and then this one would be armed, and you would have a time disk, which would be the engineer's time disk, or it would be the facing player's time disk, whoever you were playing at that time. So let's say you were doing this with player purple probably, or player pink. So you would take a pink time disk and put 4 steps in space forward, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be on minute 5. This game would end if the antimatter is on board then. And I might not mind. I mean, so let's just reveal. Do you know which characters I were?
I had no idea. I was guessing that at first that you were the cyborg, But I'm like, well, he's just playing the cyborg, but that doesn't mean that he has it. I was thinking that maybe you were the stowaway.
I thought that
I was thinking possibly stowaway or medical robot, maybe.
Yeah. Well, so one thing is that when you play the game, what people do, what the action, what you activate is usually, especially when you played it a few times, you usually don't activate what you are in the beginning, just to make sure you don't you reveal who. So I am actually the cyborg, and I am the daredevil.
Oh.
And I chose the exile as my bonus. So I want the exile to survive, and you can see that up there it has 2 green ones. So I want the exile to survive, and the daredevil and the cyborg are the ones I want to get their win conditions.
Okay.
So I had a little issue with the contamination there. The cyborg don't want contaminations to go on, so that's why I put the cube on the inspector to be able to decontaminate the inspector, or just make sure the inspector doesn't make it to space to Earth. The firebomb I actually only made because I wanted to display the fire potentially.
Gotcha.
How fire works. So next turn, if we continued playing, toss the firebomb into the biolab. And it will also play towards the cyborg goals, because then when I toss it, I get to decide if it explodes or not. And obviously, I would like it to explode. So in that case, this one would catch fire. And see, where is the fire token? There it is. So this would be catching fire and making it damaged, which means its activity, its action, the things happening on it is not happening anymore. So no one gets contaminated if they go in here, as long as it's damaged. And then the fire, since this is gravity, the fire would slowly spread for each turn. So I would put my time disk on the fireplace, and then when it's the end of my next turn, this fire would spread, and I would put the time disk on the next one, and then one turn further on, it would spread again, until someone goes to make a hazard suppression action, and to try and stop this spreading.
Gotcha.
So that would have caused some mayhem.
Yeah, that would have been some fun.
I can see Liz is going to be pretty maniacal when we play
I don't know
this.
what you're talking about. I am never maniacal.
Yeah, so that was one thing that would happen. And I also I was planning for the daredevil, which wants to, you want to be the only one that survives. And now that you're triggering the antimatter, that has a high chance of happening. So the daredevil, I just wanted to jump off the station. And I plan to go here and have the stowaway give me the rocket wings, and then go over here and jump out to EVA immediately. So I go here and then fire my rocket wings and bye-bye station.
Yeah, that would have been smooth.
Down.
Bye-bye station. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. If possible, but now you took the artifact on the way here, and I might just skip that. That's 2 points for me. But if I would have had a tool, which I don't, I could have robbed. Yeah, I could have hit you.
But I have a helmet, so you would have needed a gun.
Would need a gun. That was kind of difficult, so I probably would just skip the artifact and just jump into
2 points.
Because 2 points, and as a matter, the antimatter is armed. So it's I have very limited time. So that would be the plan for the daredevil, probably.
Yeah.
You're revealing your offensive tendencies like you did in Dawn on Titan.
Yeah, we remember that.
Yeah, offensive is one word. Proactive is another.
Proactive. That's a nicer word for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Yoon, for the playthrough. That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to get this physically to our tables. It's going to be delicious to touch and see.
Yeah. I think it will be a very, very good experience. It's It's a game unlike many others.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely very excited for this.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to jump over to a quick conversation with you, actually. So
Yep.
stay.
Yeah.
Check this out.
But oh, so is it going to be on the same stream, or is it just going to be?
No, we'll go ahead and end the
Okay.
sky, and then we'll just that way we can record it and edit it for later.
Gotcha.
So we can. Yeah.
Great.
But I'll just to keep the server up as it was.
Okay.
Yeah, because we'll just jump over to like a converse. We have a different screen for conversation. She'll just jump to it right now.
Yes.
You won't have to
But I
change
need
anything.
to click in the screen. So do you want to do an outro really quick?
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. We're LDG with Jon Manker.
And just remember, until next time, to have fun.
Be
And
present.
be you.
Thanks, Yoon.
Thank you so much, Yoon.
Yes.
You're welcome.